What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's DripGodDero, and I'm back at you guys with another banger. So, first and foremost, I want to say it feels good to be back in Texas. Now, if you guys didn't know, I actually took a vacation out to Denver, Colorado, and also Colorado Springs. But I am back, and since we are back, we will be continuing the schedule. And for today's video, we will be ranking every player on the San Antonio Spurs 2022-2023 roster. Now, this was actually a request from a subscriber, so shout out to you. You know who you are, the Spurs fan who was in the comments. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so if you've never watched my tier list videos when it comes to ranking players on the team, I do have 5 different categories. I have stars of the team, very good player, deserves big minutes, decent rotational player, gives you solid minutes, fine for garbage time / development, and the last one is get them off the motherfucking team. Now, just so you guys do know, these players will be ranked from best to worst, just so you guys do know. So if I do put a player as the first player in stars of the team, that's the #1 best player on the team. If a player is the last person that I do place, that means they're the worst player on the team. And before we do get into the actual rankings, like the goddamn video, comment on the motherfucking video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, because we are back with the great NBA content. Now let's get right into it. Alright, so to start off, as the best player on the team, I have Keldon Johnson. Now I have him as the best player of the team because I know he is in a shooting slump right now when it comes to his 3-point shot, but before the shooting slump, he was definitely shooting pretty well from the 3. And that's something that this team specifically needs, 3-point shooting. And besides that, he's pretty great all around. He can attack the basket pretty well. He does tend to get some decent free throw attempts, so that's another nice thing. And he does have a solid, strong build as well, so he's solid defensively. So he's pretty much a jack of all trades, can attack the rim, can hit the 3. And that's what you definitely want out of a young player. Right behind him, I have Devin Vassell. Now I got him also in stars of the team. Similar to Keldon Johnson, he is a pretty well-rounded player as well. He can shoot the ball. He's shooting 40% from 3. And he's pretty long as well, long and big. So with that being said, he's a great defender, and he does everything pretty well. He's decent at passing. He can also rebound pretty well. So I got him as the second best player on the team. These are the 2 stars in my honest opinion when it comes to the Spurs, and me personally, I feel like they are the 2 players that I would really be trying to build around. Right behind them, I have Jakob Poeltl. Now, I got him in very good player, deserves big minutes, and the reason I do have him in this position is because unlike these 2 players, he is a little older. Now, he does provide a lot of value to this team. I won't knock that. He does provide a lot of value. When you just look at his stats, the advanced stats to be specific, he's always been a player that stands out when it comes to those advanced stats, and that's why he is in all of these trade rumors, because he has a nice contract and he's a very impactful big man. Now, like I said, the regular stats, they might not jump off the board, but when it comes to the advanced stats, that's when you really notice, oh yeah, this dude is very good. He's an impactful player. So shout out to Jakob Poeltl, and I do have him as the 3rd best player on this team. Right behind Jakob Poeltl, I have Trey Jones. Now I got him in this position because me personally, I feel like he's a solid young point guard who facilitates very well. Now he is averaging the most assists on this Spurs team, and let's keep it real. If they were a little bit more efficient, he could be averaging probably around like 10 assists. Let's just keep it a band. But because the Spurs, they do struggle offensively, he doesn't really average as many assists as he should. But besides that, Still pretty young. He is kinda undersized. He is only 6'1", but besides that, hey, I like what I see out of the young buck, man. I do like what I see out of him. Right behind Trey Jones, I have Josh Richardson. Now, Josh Richardson is another player that will be in a lot of trade rumors just because he does have a decent deal when it comes to his contract, and also he is somewhat of a 3-and-D style of player. Now, would I say he's one of the top tier 3-and-D players? He like middle. He's middle of the ground to me when it comes to 3-and-D players, but he definitely contributes to this team, and like I said, he's your stereotypical 3-and-D player. Not as big as I would want for a 3-and-D player. I think he's around like 6'6", but hey, he still provides value to this team. So I do believe he is a very good player and he deserves big minutes for this team. All right, right behind Josh Richardson, I have Jeremy Sochan. Now, Spurs fans specifically, let me say Spurs fans specifically, they might crucify me for putting him in decent rotational player, gives you big minutes. But me personally, I like him. I see the potential. I really do when it comes to his hustle, when it comes to his defense, when it comes to his energy in general. But at the same time, there are some glaring weaknesses. If you guys didn't know, he does struggle heavily when it comes to shooting and his free throws. And currently, as of right now, he is shooting his free throws one-handedly. He's literally shooting one-handedly. So with that being said, it's like that's an obvious kind of flaw in his game, but he is still young, and just because you can't shoot don't mean that you can't be effective. There are plenty of forwards who weren't able to shoot initially coming into the league. Look at Giannis, and he's damn near a top 5 player in the league. Well, he is a top 5 player in the league. LeBron, he couldn't shoot that well when he came in the league. So I'm going to give him the benefit of doubt. And I do feel like he can go up this list, but as of right now, I will just put him in this position. Right behind Sochan, I do have Zach Collins. Now, I got him in this position because I feel like he's a stereotypical good backup big. He can hit the 3 every now and then, and yeah, there's not really much to say about him besides that. Defensively, he's alright, but besides that, me personally, I wouldn't consider him a great pick and roll big, but like I said, he can hit the 3 every now and then, and he is a solid backup big. Right behind Collins, I do have Doug McDermott, and yes, I switched the players out, man. I noticed that I actually accidentally put Doug McDermott for Jakob Poeltl, but I switched them out, man. But anyways, and the reason I got Doug McDermott right here is because he is one of the best 3-point shooters on this team, and that's one of the things that this team struggles mightily with, 3-point shooting. And me personally, I just feel like because they struggle so much when it comes to their 3-point shooting, he has to be at least in a decent rotational player, give you solid minutes. So shout out to Doug McDermott. Right behind Doug McDermott, I have Stanley Johnson. Now I got him right here because I feel like he is a lower end 3-and-D player. No, he has been moving around from team to team, but me personally, I do feel like he does provide some decent value with his defense. His 3, it can be hit or miss, but as of right now, it's been actually hitting, so shout out to him when it comes to that. And yeah, I don't feel like there's much more to talk about when it comes to Stanley Johnson. Right behind Stanley Johnson, I do have Malachi Branham. Now, I have him in this position because, to me, he is a pretty solid guard. He can operate the pick and roll decently well, so shout out to him on that. And he is pretty good defensively, so that's another good thing to note. But I do feel like I need to see a little bit more out of him to actually up him on this list. But overall, he has been alright. Right behind Malachi Branham, I do have Gorgie Jing. Now, I do have Jing right here because, me personally, I feel like his talents are being wasted on this team. Now, me personally, I feel like he is a solid big man and who can also hit the three. But he is older in age, so he is a veteran. And yeah, I feel like he just doesn't really have a place on this team because, as we all know, the Spurs, they are trying to develop their young players and also somewhat tank to get some more good young players in general. So due to that, he doesn't really get as much playing time as he would on a contending team. But yeah, I do feel like he's still a solid player in general. Right behind Gorgie Jing, I do have Keita Bates Diop. Now, Keita Bates Diop, he is a backup small forward. He's shooting around league average from 3, which is 35%. And other than that, he doesn't really provide too much more. To be honest, he really doesn't. So I got him in that position. Also, he is around 27 years old. I think 27 or 28. So he's pretty much already hit his prime, and his prime is, coming off the bench for a Spurs team, man. So that obviously doesn't show much promise. So I do have to have him in this position right here. Right behind him, I do have Romeo Langford. Now, Romeo Langford, at this point, he is looking like a bust. He is a former top 10 pick, and in my honest opinion, he's just pretty much a worse Malachi, in my honest opinion. And another thing that really just hinders him, besides him obviously not being able to shoot, is that he just sometimes looks unmotivated on the court. And I know that's subjective to my opinion, but in my honest opinion, sometimes he just looks unmotivated on the court. And me personally, I feel like this might be his last try in the NBA. If you can't make the rotation on a Spurs team, no offense to Spurs fans or the Spurs team in general, then I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you. You need to go back to the G League. You need to, work on your game. So, yeah, I got Romeo Langford right here. He does get decent minutes, but he just hasn't really shown me enough for me to warrant him being up here with these guys, to be honest. So I got him in that position. Right behind Langford, I do have Charles Bassey. Now, I do have Bassey right here because I like what I see out of him. He is a 22-year-old big man. He is pretty athletic, and he's good at shot blocking when he gets the actual minutes. So it's a lot of potential in this young man. So I do have him at fine for garbage time and development. Right behind him, I do have Isaiah Roby. Now I got Isaiah Roby right here because, in my honest opinion, he reminds me of Trey Lyles. And if you know about Trey Lyles is not that good of a player, but he's just worse. Let's keep it real. Isaiah Roby, he is just pretty much a worse Trey Lyles, and he sucks defensively. I'm going to just be blunt with it. He does suck defensively. Now, he is still pretty young, so he has time to improve. But, yeah, man. Worst Trey Lyles, I'm not really feeling it. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm not really feeling it. As the worst player on the team, I have Blake Wesley. Now, I got him as the worst player of the team, but he has potential to easily go up past at least Isaiah Roby. Now, the reason I got him as the worst player on the team is just because at the moment we haven't seen enough. When he was, available, he got injured. So with that being said, that hurt him a lot, and he didn't really get as many reps as he could have gotten because of that injury. And as of right now, he's only played 4 games, so due to that, there isn't much sample size to actually see. But hey, he does have high potential. If you just check out his college highlights, it seems like he's a 3-way scorer. So what I mean by that is that he can attack the rim, he can hit the mid-range, and he can also hit the 3. So he has plenty of potential, and from what I did see also in his college highlights, it does look like he's a dog defensively. So like I said, he might be the worst player on the list right now just because He hasn't really gotten playing time due to an injury, but he can easily go up here or up here. You never know. So, hey, let's recap this list and then I'll close out. All right, so to recap this list, as the number 1 best player on the team, I have Keldon Johnson. As the 2nd best player on the team, I have Devin Vassell. As the 3rd best player on the team, I have Jakob Poeltl. As the 4th best player on the team, I have Trey Jones. As the 5th best player on the team, I have Josh Richardson. As the 6th best player on the team, I have Jeremy Sochan. As the 7th best player on the team, I have Zach Collins. As the 8th best player on the team, I have Doug McDermott. As the 9th best player on the team, I have Stanley Johnson. As the 10th best player on the team, I have Malachi Branham. As the 11th best player on the team, I have Gorgie Jang. As the 12th best player on the team, I have Keita Bates Diop. As the 13th best player on the team, I have Romeo Langford. As the 14th best player on the team, I have Charles Bassey. As the 15th best player on the team, I have Isaiah Roby. And as the 16th and worst player on the team, I have Blake Wesley. Now, there were certain players on the Spurs that I didn't mention, such as Josh Primo, because he actually got waived and he was out here wilding, slanging his you know what. But, hey, if you enjoy this video, please like the video, comment on the video, and put the team that you want to see next in them comments down below, man. Put them teams you want to see next in the comments down below, and your wish will be fulfilled. But, hey, I appreciate all the support, and we go keep moving. 2023 is our year. Let's get it.